Welcome, I'm Heather. Thanks so much for joining us for this evening practice you can do right before bed or anytime that you need to more deeply relax, release some stress and tension from the day. Tonight's class, we will do some leg stretches. So I do recommend using a belt. If you don't have a yoga belt, you can use a bathrobe tie or a scarf, whatever you can find at home. But I do recommend using that. We are going to start in a lying down position. So if you'd like to go and get set up here and make sure you have anything else you might need, maybe a pillow. And check out how you feel as you come onto your back. And we'll just take a few moments to settle here. Depending how your back feels tonight, might just take a little bit to adjust to this position. I'll start off with a few cleansing breaths in and out. So feel the breath on the inhale sink all the way down towards your belly. And on the exhalation, release it more completely. A longer breath out. And you can breathe out through your mouth the first few times. That's it. So inhale a nice slow deep breath. And exhale to fully release. And we'll do two more like that. And this time at the end of your next exhalation, release. Start to rock your head from side to side. Just a very nice slow movement here. Keep your head on the floor. And we'll come back to center with your arms now, starting to reach your arms up towards the ceiling. We can do this on the inhale. And on the exhale, releasing back down. We'll do that about 3 more times. So following your breath as you lift your arms up and over. Nice big stretch here over your head, and then exhale, release. And feel free, you can hold that stretch for a moment at the top of your inhale and exhale. One more breath. Good, releasing that. And then off your back for a moment and rest on your side for a few breaths. We are going to do another shoulder opener. This time with your arms straight out in front of you, lifting your top arm. So I'm on my right side. So it's my left arm coming up and over, on the exhalation coming back. And we'll continue this movement for a few breaths. So slowing it down, following your breath. Going as far as you can comfortably with that arm out to the side. Don't overdo it. One more breath. And exhale to release. All right. I'm just going to switch sides. I'm just going to switch ends on my mat. So I'm not facing the wall, but you can go ahead and roll over onto your left side. And you can bring something underneath your head. You can even put something in between your knees. And when you're ready, we'll start to lift up through that other arm, come up and over, and release back down. And just following your breath a few more times. I'm going to shift and bump into the wall here. And it's a really nice way to create more space in your arm, upper arm, shoulder, chest. These muscles tend to shorten. We tend to collapse a little through the front of our chest. So really nice way to open up. One more breath like that. Good. Exhale to release, come back to center. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and roll back onto the back. And once we come onto the back, plant your feet down firmly, close in towards your hips. We're gonna do a little roll up the back. So you're coming into bridge. We're gonna roll back down. We'll do this exercise about 3 more times. Let's feel how you're shifting and moving through each part of your back as you come up and as you come back down. And helps you to align the bones of your spine. It helps you to create space in between, because you're not just coming down, but also you're trying to pull each part of your spine down separately, therefore lengthening out through your spine. Okay, and then at this time, we'll exhale, release, let the back settle, bring the legs in towards the chest. So we're gonna bring both knees in towards the chest. Use your hands, hug around the knees, just below the knees, rock a little from side to side, helping to create more space in your lower back here. And then we're just gonna keep the right knee in towards the chest, and let's extend the left leg out along the mat. Let's point the left toes up and have just a little bit of activation there in the left leg as you bring that right leg in. We'll roll through the right ankle, one way then the other. And then flex and point your foot a few times. And then slide your hands behind your thigh and rotate just the lower leg and foot here. This is really nice to loosen up that knee. And then we'll take the hands back to just above the knee or on top of the knee there and start to move that leg around so that you're circling, the movement is coming right from your hip here. And we're just creating a little bit more warmth and looseness in those joints before we come into our stretches. Let's bring now the bring the belt on the right foot. And before we just come into this pose and hold it, we're going to do again a little movement back and forth. Inhaling, knee comes in, exhale, straightening it. You might notice that your leg feels quite tight here. If you want to create a modification here so that you can feel like you can straighten up a bit more through your leg, you can bend the left knee, left foot on the floor. Or if it felt good, you can continue this with the leg extended. Okay. So we're just doing a little movement, bending the knee and then straightening up. And when you're ready, we're going to come into that position, straighten the leg. So we're straightening the leg and holding it there just to your place where you feel just the right amount of sensation, right amount of stretch and opening for that leg. I like to bring my elbows to the floor so I'm holding closer to the ends of the belt. I'm gently pulling a little bit downward with the belt and at the same time lifting up with the heel. Breathing here. And if you have the belt just below the toes, you can, when you're pulling down a little bit, you're also noticing that you're just getting a little bit more of a stretch in the calf, the ankle, and even the foot. So you pull those toes down, heel lifts up. And hold for one more breath here. And then we're going to take both ends of the belt in the right hand. And we're going to open that leg out to the right side. I'm going to run into the wall again. So shift a little bit, and the wall is actually nice now because I can just support my leg. But holding this using the belt, again, the elbow comes down. Try not to come off center. So try not to tip over to the right. To counter that, you can let the left leg come out to the side like I'm doing. So I'm on the outside edge of my left foot, knee open out to the side. I'm staying centered on my lower back here. Breathing here. At the same time, pushing out with that heel. Okay, one more breath. And then exhaling. On your next inhale, we'll slowly bring that leg back to center. Now we'll definitely straighten out through the left side. Keep the belt on the right foot, but just switch hands. So the ends of the belt in the left hand, right arm out to the side. We're going to bring that leg across to the left. And usually we don't have to go too far to feel that stretch and opening through the outside edge of your leg. So we'll hold that for a few breaths. Keeping the breath flowing, slow and steady. And try to relax other places that may tense up, like the jaw. Keep the head down, releasing the neck. And from this pose, you might even start to come a little bit more onto the side, outside edge of your left hip, bringing that right arm down. As long as you're not lifting your right shoulder up, continue that. Keep that right shoulder down. And then we're going to bend the knee, stay in that position. And all you're going to do is just bend your right knee. You can slide it onto your left leg and stay in that twist for a few breaths. Modification here is bend both knees and go into that twist, okay? So you decide. And we're not really using the belt for this one. Again, just keep that right shoulder down. One more breath. And then slowly roll back onto the lower back, bending the left foot, bending the left knee with the left foot on the floor. Let's bring the right ankle across to the front of the left thigh there. So we're going to work on the right side still. We're going to gently press into that leg with the hand. And you can decide if you'd like to go deeper, either using the belt or your hands behind the left knee. So you can also loop the belt if you need a bit more extension here for your arms. Breathing here. Really nice stretch for those hips. Okay, one more breath. And then we'll slowly release that left leg. Bring the right leg straight up. And we're going to slowly bring that leg down. And for a moment, release both legs. Shake out rock out the feet a little bit, relax. Notice if you can feel a difference there from side to side. From your right leg to your left leg. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and now bring that left knee in towards the chest. And you decide if you want to keep your right leg straight or right knee bent. We'll do some joint rotations, starting with the foot, the ankle, rolling through there, circling your foot. And then you can flex and point a few times, flexing your foot, pointing your toes. And then hands behind the leg, circling the lower leg and foot. And then we're gonna rotate and circle right from the hips. If you wanna hold on to that leg, still you can. Some people like to just release the hold on the leg and just move that leg around. Exploring the range of motion here. Good. And then we will start with the belt again. We're going to place the belt on the foot. And just place it right below the toes there. And we'll bend and straighten a few times. So you can bend on the inhale, straighten on the exhale. Just loosening up all the muscles that we're about to stretch. And then as you straighten, find your place to hold this position. Find what works for you, okay? Just enough of a stretch. And you can keep breathing. Holding this, patient with the body. It will release over time. It just takes time. It just takes practice, consistency. Another amazing benefit of doing these poses, especially at the end of the day, having the legs up in the air higher than the heart, helps to greatly improve our circulation through the legs and feet. It also helps improve lymph flow and drainage, reduces achiness in the legs and feet and swelling. So lots of good reasons why you should keep these poses, these stretches in your practice and keep coming back to them. So now we're going to open that leg out to the left side. If you want to take both ends of the belt in the left hand, slowly open out and reach out at the same time. So you don't want to drop that leg down to the floor. It's about just finding that opening here, also right from the center of your hip, staying centered on your lower back. Let that other knee drop out. And again, just play around with your position, shift around slightly until you find your place. Continue to hold here for a few more breaths. And I'm just helping to keep my breath slow and steady on the inhale and the exhale. This time as you inhale, come back to center. We're gonna switch hands on the belt, straighten out through the right leg. You're gonna reach out to the left arm and come over to the right with that leg. Feeling that stretch on the outside of your hip, your thigh, maybe even feeling it right down through the lower leg as you push out through your heel. And continue just to stay here present, mindful of your experience in this position, knowing that you can make little adjustments, shift around until you find your place. And from here, we're going to bend that knee. You can just let go of the hold on the belt. Place the foot on the other leg. Roll over a little bit more into your twist, or do what feels good. Keep that left shoulder down. You can turn your head to the left. Pausing here. It's good to wait long enough in your pose so that you can feel a release happen. And if you'd like, at that point, you can shift a little deeper. Okay, but we will come out of this pose now. We're going to bring that knee back in towards the chest and bend the other leg. Foot on the floor to bring that ankle to the thigh. And find your place where you feel centered here in your lower back, deciding when you're ready, if you're ready to bring those legs in towards your chest. Again, using your hands or the belt behind the right knee. And we'll be here for about 3 or 4 more breaths. So continue just to focus on the body and the breath. The more we do this in our practice, the more natural it becomes, the less the mind will take you somewhere else. Over time, the mind does settle, comes to know the practice, and we get better at just letting the mind go. Do its thing without paying attention as much. So you can pay attention to more of your whole body here. One more breath. Noticing if you feel a release, you can always take it a little bit deeper, just to that next place. And then slowly release. And bring that leg up in the air again. If you have your belt still, you can wrap it around your belt just for another moment. And then we'll take the belt off. Slowly bring the leg down through space. Slowly bring it down. And once you've come down, release both legs. And feel from side to side here. And here you might want to come into a whole body stretch, bringing your arms above your head, reaching, holding that position. At the same time, you can point your toes. You can also bring your toes in, extend out through your heels. You can come into a bit of a side stretch. So I'm just going to start to, I'm going to bend my knees, pull my hips to the right. So I'm coming off center so that I can create that crescent shape with my body, or banana pose. So you're going to bring your arms with your hips over to the right, bring your arms to the left. You can also slide your legs to the left, crossing your right ankle over your left, seeing if that feels good. You might even here, you might just cross your arms, holding on near the elbows. Again, find what works for you. Also try to come back to more of a central position in your lower back. So you're not on your left hip, you're coming back to center. Play around with your position until you find a comfortable place. And then we'll come back to center. This will bring your arms back to center. You can bend your knees again, plant your feet, come back to center with your hips and your legs. And then we're going to lift the hips, slide them over to the left a bit more, and start to bring your arms and your legs over to the right. So coming into that side bend. And again, I'm going to come back so that I'm not just coming over onto the right side too much, the right hip. I'm going to come back to center. And yeah, you get into it how you, there's a few different variations here. So find what works for you for your arms. You can cross your left foot over your right. Again, you don't have to. And stay here for a few more breaths. And we'll start to shift back. Uncross the feet, bend the knees. Come back to center, reaching your arms straight overhead. And we might want to do one more round or a couple more rounds of the bridge. So lifting up to your hips, rolling down your spine. Coming up on the inhale and down on the exhale. Good. Awesome. Let your back settle into the floor. Rock your head from side to side. And you may wish to do one more pose. Maybe it's knees to chest. Or you can take that one into happy baby. Reach for your feet or your ankles. You can also loop your belt over top of your feet and hold on to the belt for this one. From happy baby, I'm just going to bring the feet down a little bit so they start to touch, but the knees are still wide and open. Arms in between. And then slowly release the hands up to the knees, slowly release the legs and the feet right down to the mat, coming into the butterfly pose, the reclined version for a few breaths. Arms out to the sides, palms facing up. Again, just feeling your breath move through. I'm going to straighten out through the legs now. Come into Shavasana, your most relaxed position. Letting your body settle here and releasing all effort. Consciously relaxing, consciously giving permission, allowing your entire body to release and let go of any effort. Any sign of tensing or holding or gripping, just let that place release. As you breathe in, a fresh wave of energy enters your body. Imagine filling your entire body up with good energy. As you exhale, that wave releases and carries out whatever it needs to release with it. Inhale, fresh wave rolls in. And as you exhale, that wave releases out. Carrying with it whatever you no longer need. So that when we do go to sleep tonight, we can go to sleep without carrying the weight of anything with us. So release it all. Releasing any concerns, worries, doubts, or fears about the past or future. And just settle into the now. Let's stay here for just a few more breaths. And we'll begin to move again, wiggling the toes and the fingers, rocking the head from side to side. When ready, bending the knees. You might even rock the legs a little bit more from side to side. And then on your time, when you're ready, you can first roll over onto your side to prepare to come up. Take your time. Moving slowly, we've helped kind of set the rhythm and the pace for the rest of the evening to be more mindful and slow and relaxed. So you're feeling that now, a little more peaceful and at ease. If you'd like to join me in a little short meditation, I'm just going to introduce you to metta meditation. There's 4 lines that we can repeat. These are the more traditional statements, but you can come up with your own too, starting with yourself, and then we won't do the full practice night where you send it out, but It goes something like this. May I be filled with loving kindness. So you just repeat that to yourself. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. And may I be healthy. And after repeating those lines a few times, then you can direct that to anyone you wish. You can be specific or just general. And then finishing with, may all beings be filled with loving kindness. May all beings be peaceful and at ease. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. Thank you. And thank you so much for joining in tonight. Namaste. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening and a good sleep tonight. And we'll see you again soon.